Good morning, Doctor. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Good to be with you.
Dude, I'll tell you what, this book serves as a reminder. It also serves as an anchor for people who think that they went through a crisis, but they don't know what really took place. And I'm so grateful that you put this book together.
Well, thank you so much. I wanted people to understand that it's more than just the binary framing, the masks are good, masks are bad, vaccines are 100% effective, or vaccines don't work narrative that's out there. There's a lot of nuance that goes behind policy recommendations. And I want people to understand the nuance, but I also want them to understand how quickly information was coming in 2020. Do you remember when we were debating whether we should bring in our mail, whether or not we should write down our groceries? Mm-hmm. And so information was coming in quickly. And I want people to understand the context in which those policies were coming out, in addition to the partisanship. I really believe this pandemic would have played out very differently had it not occurred in the midst of a presidential election. Yep. And so I wrote the book to help people reflect on what happened and how we can do better moving forward. Because right now we're Bill Murray and Groundhog Day. Yep. We keep having these same issues happening over and over and over again in terms of new surges, and in terms of our inability to be able to respond to new threats.
You're absolutely right about that, because during the lockdown, I took up a job at a grocery store. And the reason why is because I wanted to do something with people. I wanted to be with people, and you should see how people react today. They either have the mask on or they don't, and they don't want to talk about it. And it's still one of those things that I think that we need to talk about, and a book like this is going to create conversation.
Well, and I really, that would be the best thing that will come out of this. This isn't me telling people what to do. Right. It's me giving people information to be able to make good decisions for themselves. And one of the things that I will say is government plays a role, but we all have to own our part in our own health. One of the things that is a myth is that the Trump administration did a terrible job in terms of transmission of COVID and COVID policies. And I say it's a myth, and I explain this in the book, because when you look at how we did on transmission, it was about the same as most European nations. However, what really hurt us was that once you got COVID in 2020 and in 2021 and 2022, yep, you were much more likely to die if you were in America than in most European nations. And that has less to do with COVID policy and more to do with poor baseline health. Our obesity rates, half of adults are obese, our high blood pressure rates, our diabetes rates in this country. And we haven't done anything to change those. If anything, they're going in the wrong direction. And we're going to be set up to continue to have these poor outcomes moving forward.
Inside your book, Crisis and Chaos, you talk about 10 lessons that we have learned because of COVID-19.
Yes, indeed. I walk people both through personal lessons and through societal or cultural lessons. The personal lessons are really understanding our own risk and being able to make smart decisions about which tools we employ. Everything from staying home to using a mask to making sure you've got proper ventilation to making sure you're vaccinated or can get tested and treated. These are all things that we can do personally. But on a societal level, we need to put the CDC and the FDA in a better position to be able to respond to pandemics in the future. We need to have media that focus on health, or at least identify when they're not health reporters reporting information, so that we can absorb that information in an appropriate manner. We need to improve the ability of public health officials to be able to communicate tough information. And as I highlighted earlier, we need to focus on baseline health, because that's really one of the biggest predictors of whether or not we're going to be able to individually and from a societal perspective deal with future threats.
But one of the things that I'll never forget about this is how important science became to everyone, because at that point in time, we heard of scientists, we heard of labs and things like that, but the importance of science and what it means to us even today.
Well, exactly. One of the lessons from the book is that our economy and our health are intricately related. Yep. And we saw firsthand during COVID how much science and health had the ability to either shut us down or open us up again. And what frustrates me now is that we've had some amazing scientific innovation and discovery over the past 3 years, but tools that are left in the toolbox do nothing.
Yeah.
And because of partisanship, because of misinformation and disinformation, too many people aren't leveraging these amazing tools that science provided for us to be able to make smart decisions for their health moving forward. That's one of the big lessons from the book, is we have an amazing ability to be able to protect ourselves, but far too many people aren't doing it.
Oh, doctor, I have waited 3 years to have the opportunity to share a conversation with you. This is such a blessed day, and I have a book here that is just really, really going to touch a lot of people's lives.
Well, I hope people will enjoy it. I also share a lot of personal stories about me and my family, my wife who had stage 4 cancer, my 3 kids who were stuck home virtual schooling, but also some fun stories, conversations I had with Oprah Winfrey, Axl Rose, other folks during the pandemic who were big names, but were dealing with this just like we were, just like regular people. So thanks for having me.
You bet. You be brilliant today, okay, doctor?
All right. You too. Take care.